Good afternoon, everyone. It's good to see you all. Thank you for joining us today. And it's a beautiful afternoon because we're not getting any bad weather, Henry. I don't know. We appreciate Councilman Nixon being here with us as well. We have some great news, a great collaboration to share with all of you today, and it's only going to help our crime prevention efforts. And I'm happy to be able to announce it. We want to thank Mr. Tom Loper, who's not able to be with us today. He's General Manager of Lamar Advertising, a business, in my opinion, that truly supports our community initiatives, so many of them. Again, he couldn't be here with us today, but in his place is Mr. Mark. You can't hear me? Grab? Okay, hello, hello. All right. Thank you so much again, Lamar. Another special person with us today is Mr. Richard Farr, the Executive Director of Rapid Transit, who always responds whenever I call. Not quite, I appreciate that, thank you. Both of these entities immediately asserted themselves as partners with the York City Police Department and our crime prevention efforts with the Tip411 campaign. In a nutshell, the campaign seeks to empower our community residents to become more aware and responsive to crime-related issues while being able to report them anonymously to the York City Police Department through texting. Everybody has a cell phone. So through text messaging, anonymously, these tips can be reported to us. I'm positive that many of you have seen the billboard advertisements around the city already, and possibly one of the Rapid Transit buses, like this one right behind me, that encourages everyone to take action, an anonymous action, if you will, to report crime in situations that when they just don't look right in our community. In my opinion, we must rid our community of this culture of no snitching and not talking to the authority and bring back the culture of caring for the well-being of others and caring about our communities and our neighborhood. I encourage you all, I empower you all, I plead with you all to help us fight the crime in our city by submitting your anonymous tips, utilizing our Tip 411 system, again by just texting. You can take York Tips plus your tip to 847-411. It's that simple, and it's that easy. And for each of us to collectively begin taking back our community and standing for what's right. So again, thank you to Lamar Advertising and Rapid Transit for your generosity and your willingness to collaborate with the City of York and the York City Police Department. Now I'm going to ask Mark to say a few words, and Richard after that, and of course our police chief. Mark?
Thank you, Mayor, and this is for you to put on your desk when you're done here. We'll stick right out here to the front. I know it's not as big as the bus, but we're excited to be partners with this collaboration to try to get the message out there to help prevent crime in New York City. We're really excited to be that. We're going to be doing 12 billboard posters throughout the year and 4 bus shelters. So hopefully that message will get out where the people are at, and that's the most important part. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark. We appreciate it. I do.
You can't have my bus. You can have this, but you can't have the bus.
He's locking me
Yeah, there
in,
you go. We'll move it quickly.
Thank you.
I'm Rich Farr with Rapid Transit, and we are excited to be part of this campaign. You know, I've heard my whole life that knowledge is power, and we really need to give power to the law enforcement, and we do that by sharing the message. I think that's really important. And I also think that this is an opportunity for the city residents to have a bit of an attitude. And typically that's a bad thing, but I think the attitude we need to have is not on my street, not in my neighborhood, and not in my town. And so we really want people to get out, and that's why we jumped on board, no pun intended with the on board, to have the advertisements on the bus, inside the bus. We're going to do whatever we can through Rapid Transit, through our electronic media, our newsletter, our website, to continue to get the word out to the public, because we feel it's very important, and we're glad to be invited to the table. So thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate it. Chief? My side.
I like that. That's good.
That's good.
Just briefly, again, I'd like to thank Lamar Advertising and Rapid Transit for partnering with us, helping our community, helping our police department. I try and get the message out all the time that we can't do our job very well if the community's not willing to help us and step forward and give us information. And we always like people that are willing to come forward and testify, but we understand that sometimes people just aren't in the position to do that. And that's where our anonymous text line really comes into play. We get a lot of messages across it. We've made several arrests with the texting line. Matter of fact, one time when it was first in place, I was watching the Philadelphia Eagles play. They were probably losing, unfortunately, but we won't go down that road. And someone was texting about someone they saw with a weapon, and we were able to get that information to our patrol officers while I was sitting watching the Eagles game, and they were able to chase that individual down, take that weapon off the street, take some drugs off the street, make a great arrest. So we're willing to take the information however we can get it. We'd love to have people come forward and be willing to talk to us and give their names, but we're also very much willing to have them come forward anonymously, give us information that helps corroborate evidence. And we're not very good marketers, and this goes a long way in helping to get that message out. So thank you very much.
Thank you. We obviously would take any questions that you all might have, but the whole idea is just to get this information out, let the community know they can utilize it, and we want them to. Again, thank you so much to our supporters and partners in this effort.
Chief,
Kyle?
do you think this is a bit of a game changer when it comes to investigating crimes and solving them?
I don't know if I would call it a game changer. We've had the text line for a little while now, for shortly after I became chief, I believe. But again, we're not very good marketers, so we don't always do the best job of getting the information out. We put it on press releases when we talk to the media. Obviously, we always mention it. But so to have it out on the buses moving around the city, to be able to drive into the city and see it up on a billboard is a huge thing. It'll keep it in people's minds. And again, technology is what it is today. You know, picking up the phone and calling someone isn't how people operate today. More people are willing to text rather than come talk to us face to face or call us on the phone. So we want to take advantage of that. So it's been a great project for us. It can only get better if the word gets out there a little stronger. So, you know, it helps us solve crime, and that's the important part.
And it remains anonymous completely.
Yeah, we have no idea. It comes across as numbers to us. We can continue a conversation with the person as long as they don't tell the system to stop the conversation. So oftentimes we'll text back and forth to ask further questions and get further information. So it's a great line of communication.
Is there a cost to the user?
To the user, no. Not. Now, that being said, I don't know all the phone plans that are out there. If you have a phone plan that you pay by the text or whatever, obviously that's going to be cost. Yes.
Who does this exactly go to? Like, is there somebody who's monitoring this, or does it just go to a patrol sergeant?
It goes to many people. We have people that have it on their phone, such as myself. Most of the information goes to the detective division, and myself, the head of the detective division, our captains, other detectives that are in there. There are many people that monitor it, so if one of us doesn't pick it up for some reason or another, someone else does and gets it to the proper people. It comes across like any other text. It dings on my phone, and you know, my wife's not happy about that at 3 a.m, but that happens from time to time.
And already you said there have been some success stories.
Oh yeah, I mean, immediately after getting it, we had the arrest that I talked about. We've gotten information on many of our homicides that was passed to us that maybe necessarily didn't allow us to make the arrest, but again, corroborated information that we were getting and pointed us in the proper direction to work. And that's a big part of an investigation. When we have a crime, unfortunately, a lot of people like to lie to us, so we end up going in many different directions. The more information that can point us in the right place, it saves us time. It leads to taking the criminal off the street a little faster.
Do you think there's a big mentality for being a snitch? I mean, does that really get in the way, unfortunately, of investigations?
Oh, oftentimes, I mean, that culture's out there a little, you know, when it comes down to it in the end, people are willing to talk for one reason or another. Our investigators are very good at interviewing people and getting information that they need to. But again, we hope that this system, and it seems to have, helps people that are a little shy about approaching us, people that are a little unwary. Maybe they have information, but they don't know if it's worthwhile. We'll take it and let us decide whether it's worthwhile or not. We thank everyone that sends the information into us, and some of it pans out, some of it doesn't. But again, we'd rather have more information than not have anything at all.
Can people just use it if they have a suspicion information if they say something's going on at my neighbors. You know, I don't know if they're committing a crime, but
Yeah, we get that quite often. We get, hey, I see a lot of people coming in and out of such and such an address. Not sure what's going on, but could you guys check into it? And then we pass it on to our drug guys, and they look into it, and we'll talk back and forth with them and ask them further questions to try and help us solve what's happening there or not. Yeah, it's open for use.
Do you find that the texts are, that the information's pretty accurate usually, and even more so than if it's given anonymously, then you might get out of the sea or something?
It's a lot of accurate information. Again, we use it to corroborate things, so there's a lot of times we get info that's right on the spot. Sometimes it comes in a little later, like we'll have an idea who committed a crime, and you'll get a text saying such and such committed a crime. We already know that, but it's good that someone else is sending us information telling us that. So now we just need to prove that they're the person that committed the crime. So yeah, it's a lot of good information comes in across it.
Is there any circumstance where you would seek out the individual, find out who they are, if you have further questions, or it's under investigation?
I mean, we can talk back and forth with the person as long as they don't cut the conversation off. We have asked people to come forward. I can't think of anybody that has, in all honesty, I don't know. But we have asked people, and again, that's the whole reason for it's to be anonymous, and we understand that, so we don't push that point. We'd rather have the information coming in than cut the conversation off.
Lamar Advertising, how important is it to you to be a part of this and having a business in the area and being able to help stop crime?
I have a loud mouth. It's very important to us, and the reason it is because most of everything that you see that's going on out here is outside. So we're out there 24/7 for people to see the message out there. We feel that that's the most important part of it, is making sure it's out there where people travel. And where we're putting the boards out all throughout York City, the 12 boards, it's going to be a very substantial amount of impressions when it's all said and done with.
Thank you all very, very much. We appreciate you coming out today. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Good job.
You gotta keep
You don't want me driving that?
That's cool.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.